Very excited to be joined by Abraham Ancer, thanks to our friends at Corona Premier. He'll be playing in this tournament, number 66 ranked player in the world. Abraham, thanks for being here. You've had a great year going back to the end of 2018, won the Australian Open. How's your confidence level going into this weekend?
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me on the show. Feel great. I'm really thrilled to be here playing my first U.S. Open at Pebble Beach, being such an iconic golf course in great shape. Just trying to soak it all in, and having a great partnership this week with Corona Premier, being my premier on the U.S. Open, and having them on my team is going to be really cool.
You've played this course before. Obviously, it's a whole other level of magnitude when it's the U.S. Open, when it's a major. What are the things that you want to do when things get going tomorrow in your opening round?
Yeah, very demanding golf course. Obviously, in the U.S. Open, you have to be in the fairway. The rough is brutal, so it's obviously, like I said, you got to be in the fairway. But most important thing out here, I think, will be the second shots. The greens are very, very small. You have to hit the greens. If not, you're gonna pay the price. So I'm just gonna focus on trying to hit as many greens as possible.
Abraham, we live in a world, golf, football, the NBA, baseball, of analytics, sabermetrics, the numbers. You're in the top 20 in driving accuracy, which portends well, as you were just walking us through, for this tournament. Do you look at those numbers? Do you study some of the data of your own game to try to figure out what to do in moments like you're going to experience over the next few days?
Yeah, especially just whenever you want to get better, you want to look at your numbers and see where you need to work on, especially in U.S. Opens where you got to be, like I said, really precise with your golf. I know I've been playing really good off the tee. I need to get a little bit better with my second shot, so that's what I've been working on this week.
You know, you've got a really interesting story. We talk a lot about the Tiger Woods, guys like Tiger who dominate most of their careers, but golf is filled with guys who are in the 1% of the 1% of the 1% of what they do in the world, and it still is not guaranteed a career. You struggled early in your PGA Tour career. You went down to the web.com tour, and you got yourself back here. What did those lessons, the highs, the lows, whatever doubts you experienced, how did they shape you into the golfer that you are now?
Yeah, I think having that first year on the PGA Tour, even though it was brutal, I was in a bad spot, just not playing my best, and mentally it was tough. Just being out here and not being able to enjoy it, just because I was playing poorly. It was tough, but it taught me a lot, and I implemented all that I've learned on the web.com after that, and played great. And I felt like I just kept doing that, and it's been working out well. First year I tried to change too many things, try to play like a bunch of guys that I play out here that play different game than I do, and I mean I should just stick to what got me here in the first place.
It is not easy to earn a card on the tour and to do what you've done. Was there ever a moment in between your stints on the PGA where you thought about giving up, or you just entertained the possibility, man, I'm not sure I'm getting back up there?
No, I knew. I just, like I said, that year taught me a lot, even though I played very poorly that year. But I knew what I had to do and what I needed to get better. I knew I could get there and be able to do it right away, that with one year and be back, and then keep my card and making all the way to the third playoff, and then winning on the Australian Open. So it just gave me a lot of confidence and I realized that I had enough game to win out here and stay out here for a long time.
Yeah, and you were right. You win the Australian Open. I think in the first few months of this season, you finished in the top 5 a couple times. You put up a nice number at the PGA. What in 2019 and going back to the end of 2018 are you doing well that you're hoping will translate to today? Why are you playing so well?
Well, like I said, I think I'm driving it well. I tend not to put myself in too many bad spots. Maybe just the putter gets hot, I feel like I'm going to have a really good tournament. So I just want to keep that going and looking at the areas that I've been struggling a little bit and just trying to get that better.
We had Kevin Na on the show a few weeks ago, Colin Montgomery last week or the week before, and each of them gave their own perspective on how a major just feels different than a tour, a normal tournament on tour. From your perspective, can you just walk us through, for you, how moments like you're going to experience starting tomorrow, maybe even today as you get ready for it, how it feels different than other golf tournaments that you play over the course of a season and a career.
Yeah, I mean, being a major, you always give it a lot more attention. I mean, I got here on Sunday, so I got 4 days to prep. When normally I get maybe the tournaments Monday afternoon and maybe practice Tuesday and Wednesday. But yeah, I mean, you put a lot more attention. Everybody's a lot more methodical on their practice. I'm not saying we're not in a normal event, but you got to do everything you can that is in your hands to put yourself in a good spot, mentally, I mean, physically, and just with your skills. So yeah, I mean, I do the same stuff I do for a normal event. I just take maybe an extra day and a half of extra practice.
Abraham, for me at least, in my career, the night before I did this show for the first time, when I fill in for a guy like Jim Rohn, whatever sort of career opportunity comes along, I can never sleep the night before those moments. And I've never asked a guy this, but I'm going to ask you, will you lose sleep tonight? Will you get like a solid 10 hours? Are you playing golf on 2 hours sleep tomorrow? What's the night before a major like for you?
Well, I've been able to have good sleeps. I have a hard time falling asleep early, but I've always had. So tomorrow I have a pretty, not super early. I go at 8:30. So I always like to wake up 3 hours before and get to the golf course 2 hours before. But yeah, I mean, if I can fall asleep around 10 at night, I'll be just fine.
You played a few years ago on tour without Tiger really being legitimately in contention. Obviously, Tiger won the Masters this year. For all of us as fans, it certainly feels different watching at home. Does it feel different on tour now, knowing that Tiger's competitive, or is that more of a fan media thing from a distance?
Yeah, I mean, you can tell the golf course is a lot more people when Tiger's around. I think it's great for golf having him back and winning. Obviously, winning the Masters was huge, not only for his career, but just golf in general. I think it's a lot more fun. It's great for the game, and I think it's awesome having him around.
And what do you and the guys make of the run that Brooks Koepka has been on, just particularly in majors, just what felt like domination the last couple of years?
Yeah, it's been very impressive. I think he's won 3 out of the last 4, which is extremely impressive. I think his game is obviously really good especially for this type of golf where you have to be just grind it out. U.S. Opens tend to be long and just tough. This week is not very long, but it's definitely the golf course you have to be extremely precise. And I think what's got him there is just his mentality and how he approaches these events.
Are you done? Yeah.
Now, your father was a big part of your life, obviously, and your golf career, got you into the game. I know he passed away a few years ago, and the story goes that when you were 10, you beat your dad for the first time. I remember beating my dad for the first time in several things, including golf. You shot a 37 on 9 holes as a 10-year-old. Was that the moment when you realized I might be able to do this at a higher level, or higher level? Or did that come later in your life, in your career?
It probably came later. I mean, that was just I was playing from the up tees, obviously being 10 years old. But yeah, it was obviously that got me the little stepstone that I was like, oh man, this is a lot of fun. I enjoy being competitive in this sport. But yeah, it was always been little things of like achievements that got me to where I'm now. But I think when I was in high school and I was thinking about going to college and all that, that's when I was like, you know what, I want to give it a shot and I want to do everything in my hands that I can do to get to the PGA Tour.
I'm 41 and I'm still trying to shoot a 37 on 9. So at 10 years old, that to me that indicates something great that's going to happen down the line. Before we let you go, tell us please what you're doing with Corona.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great partnership. Corona being pride on their Mexican heritage, just like I am, a brand that I've always been a fan from since I was a little kid. Probably the most popular beer in the world. Having them on my team is going to be a lot of fun. And I can't wait to get back to my house with my fridge fully stocked with beer.
All right, I'll be on the couch the next few this weekend, rooting for you, hoping that you're there. I'll toast a Corona in your honor. Abraham Ancer, very cool of you to make time. Thank you. Congrats on your success, and good luck this coming next few days.
Thanks so much, and thanks for having me on your show.